the analyst, Pete Bercich, analyst for the Vikings Audio Network, at Pete Bercich via Twitter. And we are happy that, and very, very fortunate and gracious that Sukup Manufacturing sponsors this every week. Sukup.com, before we go to the analyst. Nordo?
Yeah.
Stop smiling, and I'm going to try to make you laugh here.
Okay, perfect.
Another text from Johnny the Mouse Mickelson, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team. Paul, if I do decide to be the cow and play with my sensitive teats, I will at least be grass-fed, 100% organic Angus beef to make Nordo happy.
I always love that one.
That's well done. That's just well done. Hey, Pete, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Awful. But Nordo has something he wants to play.
Yeah, I was driving into the studio. Everything's negative yesterday. We all know that. But I'm listening to the call as I'm getting in to eventually do fan line. I think this was early third quarter, mid third quarter. We'll call it that. But there was a penalty. Somebody was trying to rough up our guy, Justin Jefferson. Here's how it sounded like on your home for Vikings football, the fan.
Gets away from pressure, throws left. It's caught by Jefferson behind the line of scrimmage. He's thrown down so violently. Throw that flag! I mean, what are you doing, Nick Emanwari? That's a rookie move by a rookie, and he's going to be penalized for it.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. I mean, he had taken him back at least 7 yards. Whistles were blowing, and then he just picked him up and threw him on the ground. So Justin Jefferson getting his first reception. It was a blitz. Seattle does a great job. They're disguising, picking their spots.
All right, here it is.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. 15-yard penalty.
Number 3.
Spot, first down.
Say number 3, please, so everybody in Lumen, thank you, who knows who made that foolish play.
Say his name so everyone at Lumen can hear it.
Hey, Pete, I'm going to bring him behind the scenes for a second, if you don't mind. So
go ahead.
I'm just going to say somebody with the Seattle staff.
Yeah.
Who knows me through others who are on the Seattle staff who I've known for years. And the individual walked by the Vox box and kind of smirked at me at halftime. And Pete knows what I said. We had to close the door. The announcer was apoplectic. Spearfish comes in and basically is like, you need to calm down, okay, Vox? I was like, he couldn't handle Flores' defense when he was here, and you can bleeping have him. And we had to close the door.
Woo.
Yep, Pete was right next to me when I did that.
That was the kind of day it was yesterday.
A little loud, and you got these.
I thought you were talking to hockey.
You got these food and beverage, these nicest ladies in the world looking at me just terrified.
Just trying to put more water bottles in the bucket of ice.
How red my face was when this guy snickered at me at halftime, and I'm like, you can have him, okay? How'd that Rams game? Okay, anyway. Sukup Manufacturing, Pete, Sukup.com. Be nice to manufacture a victory, and maybe against Washington to begin. Teams lost 4 in a row. How do we manufacture a victory just really against anybody?
It's not complicated, that side of it, right? It's a matter of quit turning the damn ball over. It's really that part of it's that simple. Maybe stop killing our field position with penalties on special teams. That would help too. But that's it. That's where you start. I mean, what else? You're giving up extra possessions. I mean, you look at the numbers, and if I told you before the game that Brosmer was going to throw for 2 less yards than Sam Darnold, you would probably have been like, wow, the kid's going to light it up, or the kid's going to look great.
Right.
30 passing attempts. We ran the ball 16 times, but again, that total number, 46.
Yeah.
Right. It's only 44, 45. We're just not running plays. So the ability to just move the chains is important. Stay on the field. The time, I mean, it's all. The problem is everything's such a chain reaction, right? You just, one thing goes here and another thing goes over there, and then all of a sudden all these other things start, rearing their ugly heads. But if you can just stay on the field and keep moving the chains, then other things they're gonna show up on the good side. So it's an avalanche effect, and you have to start somewhere. And I think, obviously turning the football over is the biggest thing, because that's just putting our defense on the field more. It's killing momentum offensively, field position, blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's no way that the Seattle Seahawks walked away from Lumen Field yesterday happy with their offensive performance. Really, there's no way.
Right.
This is the number 4 passing team in the league, number 1 per play.
Smoke and mirrors.
And they had 200 and some odd yards of offense. I mean, it's like they can't be thrilled with that either. So we just got to keep up with them, and we got to find a way. But it's getting tough, because you have all these pretty things, you have all these wide receivers, and you just can't get them the football, and that could be a recipe for disaster in that regard.
Go ahead.
Many unhappy people.
This is FEWA, Fairness and Will Family Act, in case all of them are listening. So we're going to go ahead and pause there for a second, let that sink in. It's bad ball. It's just bad ball. And don't listen to me. Listen to what Harrison Smith said after the game. I'm looking at a tweet from young Alec at Alec_Lewis. Question was, what's the frustration level? Harrison, I don't know. I don't know if there's a frustration level at this point. It's just bad ball. Now, I mean, that's harsh. And the defense did play winning football a majority of the game. But when potential HOF and Vikings Immortality says it's just bad ball, what do you think about all that?
Harrison's been around long enough where he's going to give you some brute honesty. He has a certain level of expectation where he wants to be. He's played winning football. He's been on a lot of winning football teams, and when it's not there, he has a lot more. I guess if you take a look at his catalog of games to compare it to, as opposed to, I don't know, Dallas Turner, right, or Jalen Redmond, right? He's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of good football. And, he's saying we're just not good enough, and he's honest enough about it. So those kinds of things, those post-game interviews when guys say stuff, you're emotional. You should be pissed off. You shouldn't be happy about what just happened. So, he wasn't calling anybody in particular out, but I mean, it's honesty, right? It was bad football. Well, that's what it was. So now you just have to go about fixing it and have the discipline and the wherewithal and the want to do what you have to do to fix it, and the extra time, whatever it takes to turn this thing around and beat the Commanders when they come into town on Sunday. That's all you should be thinking about for the next 5 days, 6 days.
How realistic is it at this point in time for this team to quote unquote turn it around, or maintain that focus, whether it's the potential HOF safety saying what he said? I think the stud wide receiver said a lot by simply just kind of, hey, not going to talk to reporters today. I'm just going to, chill out a little bit, and I'm going to head back to Minnesota. Like, how realistic is it, for some stark contrast to emerge to what we've seen the last 4?
It can happen. I guess it's a matter of the right person has to lead this team out of this. The quarterback position needs to lead this team out of this, meaning get out on the field, have a couple of good drives, protect the football, do better on third down. And it doesn't have to be a total 180, but at least show some progress, right? Throw some balls where the receiver has to go up and make a great play and move the chains and get that good feeling again. I mean, I think offensively, that position, that spot really, really needs to, whoever it is at quarterback, they need to turn this thing around and just show some light at the end of the tunnel, show some progress. And then I think everybody around them will respond, right? You'd like to say the defense theoretically, I mean, you sit down as a defense and you say you can worry about what you can control. You can't control when you take the field. If it's a turnover or after the offense scores a touchdown, either way, whenever you step on the field, you got to play at a certain level. But still, they'll get a boost out of it too, right? Defense will get a boost out of it too. I mean, I can't imagine how much the guys on defense would love to step on the field with a 2-score lead now, or with a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
Right. Or, whatever, 8-point lead, and just have fun. Trying to stop an offense that needs to throw the football to catch up. It's been a while. So they're facing teams that just, hand the ball off, run the ball, short, 3rd and 5, short pass. Okay. I think that if the quarterback position comes out, gets us up and down the field, just on a couple series early in the game, whatever, that'll spark this team. And it'll help with a lot of the woes and everything that we're seeing. So that's where I personally think that's going to come from.
Hey,
it has to come from that spot.
Into the Washington game, Sunday noon, KFAN. With Eye in the Sky at YouTube, Pete Bercich 5'6" for your search bar pleasure. Maybe you do an extensive breakdown on the maturation and progress of one Dallas Turner. Doesn't that sound fun?
It does. Dallas, it's like the light bulb's coming on in the regard of playing in this system, right? It's because it's a different system under Flores. He didn't play that position in college, so he's kind of learning how to walk. In that regard, the injuries to Van Ginkel and Grenard, I think, have helped him in that he's been out there steadily week after week after week. Because it's hard to take either Grenard or Van Ginkel off the field. So it's just been it's been tough for outside of situationally for Turner to be out there week in and week out. He has been now for a lot of this season, and we're finally starting to see the instinct of the position, and it matters. He's not just a D lineman anymore. He's playing outside linebacker, which is a very nuanced position. We see Andrew Van Ginkel do what he does when the quarterback has to pump fake a quick screen on the outside because Van Ginkel is in the throwing lane, right? Those are the little things, the effects that you can have, and he's picking up on it. So we all know the athleticism is there. We know the explosiveness is there. And maybe, you look back, that 15-yard penalty that he got earlier this year on the sack that we all thought was garbage. Well, maybe that's why against, yesterday he batted that football and knocked it out of Darnold's hands instead of just lighting him up, right? So it's cool to see the evolution of him and see him grow up right in front of our eyes. And he's not done yet, though. That's the main thing, right? You're not done. You're just getting started. So every week needs to be a step forward, and you have to do what you have to do to continue to improve because you're not there yet. But you're showing us that you could be a game-changing outside linebacker.
With Eye in the Sky, what do you think of this idea? Perhaps you contact Greg Coleman. He zooms in from Jacksonville, and you guys break down Ryan Wright having the best season of his career. What do you think about that?
That's something, right? The kicking game is, or at least the kickers are doing great,
right?
We didn't see any of our field goals. We didn't see any of Reichert yesterday, did we?
No, but you know what? I mean, seriously speaking,
more than one though.
When you haven't scored a touchdown in like 7 quarters, and everything is so tightly congested with just trying to win the time of possession or at least push it, your punter all of a sudden is very important. And this young man is coming through with flying colors, isn't he, Pete?
Yeah, he's doing well. I mean, as he's doing his job is what he's supposed to do. So like I said, both the kickers I think are doing a good job.
Oh, terrific.
As far as that goes. I mean, when you're 2-8, what are we 2 for 8 on third down? Yeah, something like that. We're gonna be punting the ball a lot. So.
I got to be honest. Games like that, I don't spend a ton of time in the box score after a game like that. But I know what you mean, Pete. I'm not arguing.
No, but
I'm just like, wow.
Right. And that's kind of, I think, not the problem, but the challenge of this whole thing is just because it went that way, you still need to look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Right. You still need to look at the numbers, and when you do, you're amazed that that what we're able to do. I mean.
Yeah, there were 2 attacks.
We held the Seahawks to under 100 yards passing. I mean, honest to God, they're averaging 250 a game. What were they, 248.5? Right? Under 100. It's pretty damn remarkable. Part of it's like, oh, yeah, well, they just ran the ball because they didn't throw. Well, no, they weren't able to get vertical. Jackson Smith-Njigba broke a 11-game. He was the first player in NFL history with 75 receiving yards in the first 11 games. Mm-hmm. Right? That's it. Third most by a player in 11 games in the Super Bowl era. And what did you get yesterday? 20-something, right? So there's so many good things that if you just ignore the numbers, you won't see it. Plus, and the defense was forced to go out there, 4 extra times?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Third down needs to get better offensively. That's what I'm talking about, stringing things together, starting with the quarterback position. Get some momentum again in that regard, whether it's on the ground or through whatever, but just string some first downs together. And I think that, you get that momentum, and that's where you begin playing error free, because those mistakes are going to kill you. We're not good enough to overcome 5-yard penalties and things like that. So anyway.
Well, let me ask you this about that quarterback position, and I think it's absolutely vital, not just for the mentality of whoever the quarterback is this weekend and beyond, but for the team in general. When you talk about just needing to see something, finding and feeling some form of success. So we know Kevin O'Connell's offense can be super high end. We saw it a year ago, won 14 games with that offense. But this year, whether it's the 6 games with McCarthy, the game you saw from Max yesterday, each of those quarterbacks have, in some ways, despite being a little bit different in their style, have really suffered the same consequences of this offense. At this stage, with 5 games to go, is there anything that the head coach can do, that the offensive staff can do to maybe take some pressure off the kids, whoever it is, and manufacture some of that success? Is there anything we can do to put it any more dead center on a silver platter so that these kids can find some success the Final 5?
I don't know. I really don't think so. This offense has already changed a ton. Just if you look at it from a schematic standpoint, you look at what we ran as an offense last year to what we're doing this year, it's already changed a ton. And they've tried to accommodate, I think, as much as they can for the younger quarterback. And so it's just not our style. That's not us. We're not play action and drag and dig and dink and dunk and all those. We're just not. That's not our offense. That's not our identity. It's not who we are. We don't have a bunch of road graders that offensive linemen that just can run block, but they don't like the pass block. So it's a completely, I guess, to continue to accommodate what the players that you have would require a paradigm shift that's beyond what they can accomplish, I think, in 1 year. So at some, you are who you are. You have an identity as an offense. This is who we are. This is what we do, and this is what we aspire to. And when the players got to meet you halfway, the players have to elevate themselves to that system. And that's the true essence of the whole thing, is how much of a push and pull is it? Is it the coaches asking too much? Is it the players not responding? And those things you really don't know unless you're sitting out there at practice and in the meeting rooms and know exactly what's going on. So we can only speculate from the outside. But like I said, this isn't the offense we ran a year ago. So I know the coaches and the coaching staff are doing everything they can to accommodate the young quarterback and young quarterbacks, period. And that's a tough spot, because this is not what our offense is. It's not what it's going to be, right? This is a temporary window of developing a kid quarterback, whichever one it is, but you're developing a kid quarterback. So you change to accommodate that, and then and gradually grow out of it. So this is
that kind of lends to some pessimism in the short term then, Pete, right? I mean,
of course.
The identity of this team, sadly, specifically offensive, has become mistakes. Whether it's, they have more turnovers as an offense right now than they do have offensive touchdowns at this stage of the season. So, optimism for the future, but maybe some pessimism kind of continues here in the short term. If there's nothing, if you're feeling that paradigm shift might be too tall a task.
Yeah, if it is, it's, I guess you just have to redo your what your wins are, right? And make them, if you have to make them smaller, you got to make them smaller, and then find out what those are, do it, and then build on that as quickly as possible. But yeah, like I said, you don't want to redo the entire offense for where you are right now, because we're not. The one thing you expect out of a young quarterback is improvement week in and week out, to be able to build week in and week out. So you don't design your entire offense on where the quarterback is right now. Now, maybe if you have a veteran guy, when you have Kirk Cousins, yeah, you that's exactly what you do, right? This is our guy. This is what he can do. And this is what we're going to build around. And this is what our offense is going to look like based on that skill set. Right now, it's that skill set is such a moving target. How much do you yank everything off the table?
Right.
I do know this: the better you run the football, the easier it's going to be on the quarterback. That's just the bottom. That's just so the emphasis on the run and blocking the run and being positive. And you don't have to be, Red Grange and all that. You can just, as long as you're efficient in the running game, that is always going to help. And that's usually that's kind of the general way you look at it. Run the football, then you can build the play action off it, and then the bootlegs, and then after that you can say, all right, we'll start dropping back, and now you're comfortable, and blah blah blah. That's the old school way, I guess, of building up a young quarterback. So that's where we are, and that's what it is, and it sucks, right? But it is. That's what I mean. These little wins, you got to find a way to see some light at the end of the tunnel.
You do.
You're right. The last 5 weeks, and I don't expect a total flip of the record, and all of a sudden, we're putting up 300 and some odd yards through the air, but improvement week in and week out, and it starts with the turnovers. That's it, right there.
You, my friend, are elite, and I look forward to seeing you later this week, all right?
It's kind of like going to the dentist, isn't it?
What do you mean?
This. Just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's a verbal root canal without nitrous oxide. That's about the only way to put it.
It's like the one beverage lady you're talking about, going to the old Met in her sleeping bag with schnapps in it and everything. It's like, those the good old days.
Don't be a cow. Don't run away from the storm. Be a bison and run right into it. Endure it for a shorter amount of time and beat it. And
exactly.
So let's not be a great big fat cow.
Right. Tear the Band-Aid off quickly.
You're the best. See you soon.
All right, Paul. See you.
PJ Fleck joins about 13 minutes from now, and 9 to noon continues after this.
Man.
Another one bites the dust. Hopefully, teams don't look at the Minnesota Vikings playing that little riff going, Another one bites the dust. This segment is dedicated to a talk back. And then PJ Fleck, coach of the Golden Gophers football team, joins 9 minutes from now, and here they are.
Good morning, 9 to noon. This is your friendly neighborhood delivery driver, Vinny from Mounds View. Just wanted to shout out you guys this morning for making it a Wing It Monday. If I had to make a suggestion, if we could do a Wing It Monday at Buffalo Wild Wings, where we can eat wings and wing it there, that would be amazing. You guys have a great day and stay warm.
Appreciate you. And were that the case, I undoubtedly would choke on the chicken. I'd choke on the chicken. Simply because I'm not a fan of FINA, Fairness and 9 to Noon Act. Sitting down for an hour and 15 minutes, crafting 4 pages of 14 font prose, only to have it eliminated by the technological monsters that are all part of the world, and we're in a battle with all of the good of heavenkind before the earth was formed. Talk backs up. Let's play 2.
PA, Nordo, it's Ryan in Michigan. Now, I heard a lot of people saying Brosmer was going to do the impossible, and by golly, he did. He made us all pine for the days of J.J. McCarthy. Ow,
Oh, well, that's mean.
Yeah, but we're handling talkbacks.
Yeah.
And phone calls if and or when we take them. I haven't looked at the 64686 since AOL was invented.
Yeah.
So you can handle that. We're handling all of that with aplomb. We're handling it with poise. We're handling it with class, dignity, and respect. So even if unwarranted strays are caught by people we happen to enjoy, we on this Wing It Monday are just we're just going to have to let the old strays fly.
Yes, we will.
You
indeed.
cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, of course you are. You whooped up on my fantasy basketball team. You're cool with anything.
6'2", felt good, I'll tell you that. Off topic for a moment.
Hey, PAL. Mike from Arizona. Man, we got the Axe. Life is good, brothers. Life is good. The Axe is staying in Minnesota.
The producer's playing fast. And how do I know that? Well, because PJ Fleck joins next, and it's wonderful radio tease 3-2. It's wonderful audio tease work to have somebody celebrate taking the Axe for the fourth time in the last 5 years, and for us to say, hey, PJ Fleck is next.
Here's the last step. It's kneel down, 35 seconds. They will not need to snap again. There's the dash to the end zone to the left. Rashawn Lawrence is the first man there. The Axe is in hand. It stays where it belongs in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Snow angels from the Gopher cheerleaders. Headfirst dives by the Gopher players. And Minnesota beats Wisconsin 17-7. And the Axe stays here.
Mike Grimm on the call on KFAN. Joining us now is Golden Gophers head coach PJ Fleck, undefeated at home with the this portion of the season done. We got a bowl game on the horizon. Captured Paul Bunyan's Axe, which is becoming commonplace, and the head coach joins us now. Everything I just said, PJ, that's all pretty cool. What do you think about all that? And good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Paul. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, it was a great win for us. I mean, anytime you can beat your rival, especially at home in front of your fans and in the snow globe, man, you're going to take advantage of it and you're really going to enjoy it. And I told our team before we played, I said, this is your moment in memory. Rivalry games are always about the players and our fans, and they get a chance to create their own moment in memory, and you got to make your own. Just because we won last year, that was last year's team's moment in memory. And, but the end of the regular season with the victory, with the Axe staying home against Wisconsin was a great bow on a season. There's some really great moments. There's some really disappointing moments, but every season has those. And now we're going to get ready for our bowl prep as we get going towards that and find out who we go play and where we go play. So it's an exciting time of year. Just really, really proud of our team and the resolve and the resiliency all year. And to cap it off with a rivalry win is really big for the University of Minnesota.
So what got any sneaky intel on what bowl game we're going to get?
I wish I did. I really don't. I've heard a gamut of them. So, I heard 4 or 5 of them. So right now it's all speculation. Everybody's got us going somewhere else. Just all depends on what happens after this week.
Any preferences? Any like warm weather destinations or anything?
Look, I think all bowl games are great. So I'm the wrong person to ask. I think all bowl experiences and create an unbelievable moment memory for our players and create something very unique in their own way. We'll go anywhere. That's for sure. So just like we love to, got to continue to work on playing anywhere. But we'll go anywhere because they're all really elite experiences.
So what do you guys do next? Undefeated at home, conference done, bowl game on horizon. What do you guys do next?
Yeah, well, we definitely don't go on vacation. We're in the office, meet with our players today, doing everything we can, signing contracts with our players, getting them locked in for next year, retention, having a lot of conversations with players, the end of the season type meetings, getting our players some rest. And then, we'll be practicing Thursday, Friday. So getting our bowl prep starting to move forward. But December's dead in recruiting now, which last year it wasn't. January is a big recruiting month coming up for us, but this is really huge for us in the retention piece, meeting with a lot of players, with a lot of agents, and getting our roster, at least for the retention piece, hopefully solidified in the next few weeks so then we can move into the portal piece as we continue to move into the portal in January.
That on Darius Taylor's long touchdown run, your right guard and your center with the pin down double on the defensive tackle for Wisconsin. That was a work of art. How about all that?
Yeah, I'd say Tony Nelson did a really good job at right guard, and I love how he's playing, and he's earned the opportunity to play a lot more. And I think Ashton Beers on that play did a great job. I think it was a good play call. We went on the quick where we were able to to get them in a certain defense, get them to not check or try to check the check. And we kind of caught him a little bit, and it was really good on the double team, and Darius took care of the rest. A little bit of a misfit. That was the point of the cadence and the play call, and worked in our advantage. So that was a really good run, really good finish by Darius. Who, he's kind of been beat up all year, and it's kind of been one of those years for him. But when he's been in there, he's made us a better football team, and we got to get him continually to be healthy and so we can have a great bowl game and see what the future holds.
Old Parker Fox has rolled into the studio to join PJ Fleck, coach of the Golden Gophers football team. Good morning, Parker.
Good morning. Good morning, PJ. Congratulations on the big win. Protecting that home field is something that I know a lot of fans value. There's one play in the game that really just made me smile, highlighted kind of just the energy and the culture you guys have created. It was a big third down stop late in the fourth quarter. I think Aiden Gooseby made the tackle, and then he's celebrating about 20 yards down the field with John Nestor. And this is before Wisconsin's going to go for it on fourth down. But just a really fun play. Can you talk about Aiden Gooseby, a guy that kind of goes underrated in your secondary?
He really does. We actually moved him to corner for this game, and I think that just shows the type of versatility he has at the safety position, but also can play corner. He is a team guy. He'll do whatever it takes for the team. When you look at our secondary, at least at the safety position, we're pretty deep. We got a lot of really good players, but we're pretty thin at the corner position, especially with Nestor being out, Mike Gerald being hurt the last few weeks, and Zaquan kind of being hurt here and there. So we've been kind of really thin back there, and I thought he did a great job stepping in, stepping up, and making some huge plays. And, you mentioned the 7-0 at home, and that has to do with our fans. This is 9 years into it where we want to create an environment where it's really, really difficult to play. And our fans and our student body, when you watch games all over the country and you look at really bad weather and you see a bunch of empty stands, that's not us. I mean, it was a packed house. It was a rivalry game. I think that just shows, what we're creating and how great of an experience our fans, our student body, our band create. And I can't thank them all enough because that's why we were 7-0 at home for the first time since the 30s. That's a long time. It's almost 100 years where we've been 7-0 at home. Undefeated since 60, I think 67 was undefeated, where it was less games, but 7-0 at home for the first time since the 30s, almost a century, says a lot about this era of Gopher football and this era of Gopher fans, and we're so thankful for them.
And I'm glad you said that because the student section was packed, like you're referencing, and that's a common thread that wasn't the case before you arrived. I mean, that really, really makes a difference for the young men, the kids, however you want to describe them when they're playing in games, to look up to the student section and be like, hey, they all came to see us play.
Yeah, it's commitment, right? And it's not just commitment from a head coach or a staff or players. It's commitment from a community. It's rowing the boat together. It's understanding it's way bigger than just us. We need our fans. We need our band. We need our student section. And our job is to create the best moments and memories we can for everyone because we're the ones that have to play. But everybody got a moment memory again. I mean, that's field storming. I love that people do that. I love that our students come down, especially rivalry week, get on the field in the snow, making snow angels. I mean, we have a ranked win against Nebraska that they do that with, and then you beat your rival in the snow globe. And what a moment memory that those students will have forever. They come here, they work really hard, they pay their tuition. They want to go to the football games and be around winners and be a part of those experiences and those games. That's what college football is all about. You want to have that. And same thing with our season ticket holders and our supporters. And when we first got here, we said that we want to be able to pack Huntington Bank Stadium, at the time TCF Bank Stadium, with people who maybe don't even care much about football, but they care because of how we play and row the boat and our players in the community and how we run our program. And I think 9 years later, are we where we want to be? Not yet. But that's the cultural sustainability allows you to have the best chance to do it. And packing that stadium, even on a night like that, shows the progress we're making. And I can't thank our fans enough.
John Nestor, the Chicago kid, 7 solos, 2 picks, and 2 tackles for loss. What do you love about all that?
I just love that he loves football. He's a competitor. He's tough. He fits this program so well. And I think that's what you can talk about the transfer portal all we want. We can talk about, decommitments all we want. We want to talk about NIL all we want. That's fine. But there's still got to be a fit. For people to have and teams to have success, they've got to have a bunch of players that fit the culture, fit the scheme, fit the identity, fit the response, fit the cultural standard when things don't go right, fit the cultural standard when things are going right, and he does. And I think that's why he's been able to play so well. From when he got here in January to where he is now, I think he's a more grown-up person. He's way more mature. He's a better football player. He's evolved. He's grown. He's challenged himself. And I think he's in a perfect fit for him as he continues to go through his career.
Amen. PJ Fleck, coach of the Golden Gophers football team. Couple more to close. Can't skip steps, as you so adroitly detail. Max will learn from yesterday, but probably wishes that step never happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's really hard, right? I mean, no matter what, losing's hard. But I do know this: he has a warrior spirit. He's an unbelievable leader, and that young man will respond. Whatever that looks like, he'll respond. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he's walking in that building this morning doing everything he can to be the best leader he can be, learn as much as he possibly can, and be willing to and able to respond in the next opportunity. So that's all you can do. But again, I love that young man. I mean, he's a phenomenal person. And even when you look back at it, you look at like when we played North Carolina, it didn't go so well, but then everything from there was unbelievable. Well, yesterday didn't go so well, but from there, never know what that could be. So sometimes that failing is necessary to grow. And, but the NFL is a non-forgiving league. That's what it stands for. And, it's hard at that level, but I'm really, really, excited to see how he responds.
I had an extra field pass for you at Lumen Field. I was hoping you were going to jet out there for the game and surprise all those Golden Gophers in the game.
Well, I was going to, and then we celebrated our birthday, my birthday on Saturday, and we had some stuff we were going to do on Sunday because of meeting with players and getting all the agent meetings set up. So I was going to, but I had a great seat. That's for sure. I had a great seat watching it on TV. And
I mean, getting ready for the Turks and Caicos Bowl, I mean, that requires every day you can get, right?
Oh, that teal blue water. You bet, man. You bet.
And the white sand. Oh, you know what? Yesterday was Boye Mafe's 27th birthday. And, deep dive in the game, up to the game, he's done really well for himself in the NFL. You guys did a good job getting him ready, but 4 years into it, 27 years of age, Boye Mafe, he belongs.
He really does. He's worked so hard, and, he was such a developmental player when he got here, and he's grown so much as a person and as a football player, and then he's transferred that over into the National Football League. And I know they're ecstatic to have him, and I think Nick Callerup had a really good game as well for Seattle, and you see multiple Gophers on the field yesterday, and that was really important for us. And this football team, we're 7-5, but we lost 9 players that were in NFL games yesterday from last year's football team to the 2025 team, and to still be able to go to a bowl game, be 7-5 and 7-0 at home, and beat Wisconsin just says a lot about the program and where we're at, and rolling into the future here as we keep moving forward.
All right, I know you have to go. You're busy getting those trick plays and gadgets ready for the Antigua Bowl. So enjoy December, and we will call you soon, okay?
I appreciate it. Row the boat, Sky Mal, go Gophers, and Skull Vikes. Thanks.
See you, bud. PJ Fleck, coach of the Golden Gophers football team. Hey, it's Parker Fox.
Hey.
At Parker Fox 24. He's going to join us for a Steve's Appliances marathon around the corner. You're listening to 9 to noon on KFAN.